What's up, everybody? My name is Matt. I run a video productions company in Cleveland called Blitz Studios. Today we're going to talk about 6 tips on growing your production company to $1 million business, and I am here to tell you, you can do it. Tip number 1, and I think this is really important when you're first starting out, is to position yourself as a production company and not necessarily as a freelancer. That might sound kind of intuitive, but a lot of people when they first start really position themselves as a freelancer. The term freelancer in itself speaks for itself. Freelancer, free-lancer. You don't want free in your job title. That's not going to be a good start. When you position yourself as a freelancer, clients will try to take advantage of you because of that. They'll hear the word free and think they can get a better deal on your services. So when I first started out, I never called myself a freelancer. I built a website and I positioned myself behind a website as a video production company. So when I first started out and clients were coming to me, I was giving them a price and they could agree or not agree on it. Or if I wanted to be flexible, I could give them a discount or figure out a price that works for both of us. But it wasn't like they were coming to me and saying, I have a $300 budget, can you film this video? A lot of times when you're in that freelancer world, you're gonna get jobs that are going to be set rates, set prices, and you lose a lot of your negotiating power on the table. And so I think that's where it's really important to be positioned as a production company and not a freelancer. But you might be asking, well, Matt, I'm just by myself. How am I gonna position myself as a production company and not be a freelancer? Fake it until you make it. When I first started and I took the business full time, I didn't have anybody working for me. I was working out of my parents' house, but I still positioned myself as a production company. I used my friends that were in video and I put them on my website as a fellow videographer, so I looked like I had a team behind me and a lot bigger business than I actually did. And I think that goes in turn to not sleep on your website and your online presence. Build yourself, invest in the website up front, so when a client comes to it, they don't think of you as a freelancer. They think they're at a legitimate company's website and so forth. And that will go a long way into helping you get those first clients, but also bringing you more negotiating power to the table. Tip number 2 is build your client portfolio. I mean, this is huge for me early on when I first took the business full time, was that I took on a lot of jobs in the beginning at free or no charge to build a portfolio. And you have to go the extra mile. Yeah, it sucks because you have to put in the time, but if you have a really good portfolio, that's gonna get you jobs down the road that you can charge more for. So if you're first starting out and you don't know where to look, try to define like an industry or businesses that you would want to provide video services for, and then reach out to them and see if they'd be willing to do it for a discounted or free rate so you can build those examples out, and then go hard as fuck on those first examples and make sure those videos are very polished and clean. That video that you did for free, you might be able to sell to the next client for $5,000. I also think when you're first starting and building that portfolio is to try to stay away from some of the lower ticket item jobs. I know this might be an unpopular opinion, but I kind of always stayed away when I first started from like music videos and like artist work because the budget's just not there and there's a huge time commitment involved. So look for industries that have money, law firm promotional videos, doctors' offices, companies with marketing budgets, because those are what's gonna get you established. And then once you're established, you can then target those harder to find money industries like music videos. With building out your portfolio, one thing that might be a little unpopular or unconventional is don't just pick one specific niche to be in. A lot of times when I first started out, I heard that a lot, that I needed to pick a specific niche to be in, but I think that's just gonna limit your ability to get jobs, and that's not what I wanted to do when I first started. So I made sure to build a wide range of clientele and a wide range of project capabilities, because I didn't want to be stuck to a specific industry and limited by the size of that industry. Yeah, it might make sense to pick a specific niche, but it wasn't for me. And now I can work on any project of any client, any range. And I also have examples to show those clients because we've done almost every type of client project. And it also goes like a really long way when a client's asking for a type of video and you can provide them a specific example. This is gonna be one of your best ways to close on a job, is when they're reaching out and saying, hey, we're a restaurant and we want a promotional video for a restaurant. Well, if you can send them a link to the video you've done for another restaurant and it's on par with what they're looking for, you're gonna close those jobs a lot more than if you have no example at all. All right, here comes the classic tip, and that's gonna be investing in key areas of your business. A lot of people get caught up in the latest and greatest technology and they forget about other areas of the production that are super valuable to your business. It's not always about the camera or the lens. Yeah, it's great to have a $5,000 lens, but a lot of the cameras on the market nowadays are all shooting 4K, 6K, 10-bit video. And once you get to those settings, there's not gonna be a whole lot of difference between the latest Canon camera and the latest Sony camera. It's more about investing in your lighting equipment and your audio equipment and your post-production equipment than it is just getting the next best camera. For me, when I started out, I wanted to make sure that I invested in a wide range of stuff because I think, for example, audio is going to be one of the most slept on areas of your business that you need to invest in. You could have amazing camera gear, but if your audio sucks, it's going to look so bad. So don't forget to invest in the other areas of production that are key on producing high quality videos. And same thing with post-production. I mean, we've invested thousands of dollars into our color grading softwares, our plugins, our music, because those are things that you might not think about right away, but are vitally essential to like keeping an audience engaged in your video. I subscribe to like 5 different royalty-free music providers because music is almost as important as the quality of the video. If you have bad music, no one's gonna wanna watch the video. So you need to think about the other areas that aren't as mainstream and make sure that you're investing properly in those areas. You have to understand too that just because you have the latest and greatest doesn't mean you're gonna be good at using it. I've learned along the way, if someone knows how to light a subject, they could provide such a better lighting environment with $300 LED panels than you coming out with $5,000 of lighting equipment if you don't know how to use the technology. So a lot of the things is about mastering your skills versus just getting the latest and best gear. One thing that creatives can sometimes lack is understanding that investing in your business doesn't just necessarily mean investing in film equipment. You have to think about how are you going to get clients and making sure that you're investing in your marketing up front. Because you could have all the nicest gear in the world, but if you don't have any clients and clients don't know where to find you, you're not going to be able to get the return on your investment you're looking for. So one thing when you're first starting out is picking the right marketing channels that you want to get clients through and investing in those marketing channels. And if you're gonna go through like an online or Google My Business or a vendor marketplace like Bark, make sure you build out those profiles completely. Get reviews. Reviews are absolutely key to showing that you can provide high quality, reliable media that clients want and expect from production companies. But if you don't have any reviews, how are they gonna trust that you're able to deliver on their video, especially if you're gonna try to charge them $5,000 for a video? The next tip is going to be building strong client relationships. Now, this is from the upfront initial meeting all the way till after your project wraps. Even if you first start out and it's a free video, some of those first clients that we worked for have now come back to us and paid full price for the video because of the client experience they got. And so when you're first starting out, those initial clients that you get, you have to go above and beyond no matter what, even if it's outside of the budget or outside the scope of work. Make sure those first clients are happy and they leave you a good review. You'd be surprised at the amount of times I have a client calling me from a video we did 2 years ago. And they're calling me because I went that extra mile and provided them with that customer service experience that they wanted. And so they know who to call for their next video project. If you leave a bad taste in their mouth or your video doesn't deliver, they're not gonna call you again and they're gonna go to someone else that can do it. And so when you're building these strong relationships with your clients, try your best to get to know them. When you're on shoot, be engaging with them. Ask them questions about their personal life. Get to know them on a personal level. It's gonna make them, one, just have a much more positive outlook on the service you provided them, but it's also going to show you that this isn't a transactional experience. This is, you want to build that relationship and foster ongoing projects with them versus just trying to get through one project and be done with them. And some of the best clients we've had are because of their ability to come back to us with more work. So that is going to be what helps you long-term grow a sustainable business, is having those repeat clients that will keep coming back to you because of that service and experience you provided up front. And you can make friends and get to know people and work in different industries that you might not have worked in otherwise. Lead generation efforts. So this kind of goes back into investing in key areas of your business. You want to make sure you have some sort of lead generation process. Whether this is through SEO, direct sales, LinkedIn, find the channels that work for you, join Facebook groups, create networking events. It's really important for you to establish a lead generation strategy that is consistent and reliable, so you don't have to always continually worry about where your next project is going to come from. Being a video production company owner, our business is very project-based, and that can definitely be stressful, but luckily I've invested into lead generation strategies that have worked. So anytime I start to get nervous or I start to panic, a lead always comes in and it provides another job for us to work on. And it's really nice not having to have all that stress, not knowing where the next job is going to come from. And by investing in my SEO and my online presence, it really gives me the upper hand at getting new clients that I can then use that to funnel in with the current clients that we have. So it's kind of all about building blocks. So you want to start at the beginning with just establishing an online presence, a Google My Business page, get on the vendor platforms, and then start to build your way up. So that way you have those reoccurring clients that are coming in monthly, but then you're also generating new business on the side. And that's really how you're going to grow and get to the scale that you want to be. All right, the last and final tip that is very important is go all in. If you're going to take the leap and become an entrepreneur, you have to give it 100%. You would be surprised at what you can achieve when you put your mind to something full time. It's a lot easier to bail on stuff or to not work that hard if you're working a regular job and you have that income coming in. But when you put your back against the wall and you have nowhere to turn but yourself, you're gonna work a lot harder to get those jobs, and it's gonna be a lot more gratifying experience. So I always tell people, when you give a full-time commitment to something, you would always be surprised at what you can achieve. To conclude this video, I just want you to remember that these are strategies that have just worked for me, and it's not necessarily gonna mean all of them are gonna work for you, but I just wanna provide some experience I've had along the way that has allowed me to achieve the success that I have been able to. So take it with a grain of salt, do what works best for you and your business. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, smash it up. Blitz Studios, video production company out of Cleveland. But hopefully these tips can help you get started, and good luck with your journey.